I really liked Lost. I guess I just still have a few questions about it. Like, why did the monster kill the pilot? What did Locke see when he first saw the smoke? What's with the polar bear in Walt's comic? Where is Christian Shepherd's body if it's not in the casket? Why did the psychic say that Claire had to fly on Oceanic Flight 815, and why did he insist that her son had to be raised by Claire? Why did the others want Walt so badly? Who sent Kate the letter telling her about her mother being treated for cancer in the hospital? How does Walt know about the hatch, and why does he warn Locke not to open it? Why does the smoke monster make mechanical sounds? How is Walt able to apparate before Shannon? How did Walt communicate with Michael using the Swan computer? What is the deal with Kate and that horse? Why are supplies still being dropped on the island after the purge, and by who? What triggered the lockdown, and why on earth would anyone design it so during the lockdown black lights go on? What happened to the original Henry Gale? What happens to the original timeline, Libby, between the mental hospital and getting on the tail section of Flight 815? Who built the four-toed statue? Why does only one specific bearing get you off the island? What are the hieroglyphics on the Swan countdown timer about? Why did Tom feel the need to wear a fake beard? Who was Libby's previous husband who gave her a boat to give to Desmond? Who are the skeletons in the polar bear cave? Where did the toy truck come from? How did Locke and Echo escape the hatch implosion? Why couldn't Locke talk after the hatch explosion? Why did the monster kill Mr. Echo, and why didn't he just do it the first time they met? What did Mr. Echo mean when he said, "You're next," after he dies? How disgusting was it when Hurley was eating from that tub of ranch dressing? Why did Yemi's body disappear? Why does Danny say Jack wasn't on Jacob's list when, in fact, his name was clearly written in the cave? Why can't women on the island have babies, and what does this have to do with anything? What was that Russian letter in Mikhail's typewriter? Why is the supply drop menu hidden behind a game of computer chess? I mean, computer chess? Remember when Ben gave Juliet that weird mark as a punishment? What was that about? And what's the deal with Jack's tattoos? Actually, you know what? I don't care about that one. Desmond knew a monk? How did that monk know Eloise? Why did Ben see his dead mother? Who decided it was time to kill the others in a purge? What happened to Ben's childhood friend Annie? Why did Desmond have a false vision of Claire and Aaron leaving the island on a helicopter? How does Mikhail keep coming back to life? Why does Walt tell Locke that he still has work to do? Whose eye appeared in the cabin window? We know it wasn't the smoke monster because it was Christian Shepherd. Now we know the Christian Shepherd was the smoke monster the whole time. Where did Miles get that picture of Ben? Who is the RG on Naomi's bracelet? Why was there a 31-minute, 20-second difference between the time? Who is the economist, and why did Ben want him dead? Why was Ben so surprised that they could kill Alex? I mean, what are the rules? If the smoke monster can't leave the island and was zombie Jack's dad, how does Jack's dad appear at a hospital in LA and on a freighter? How did the monster get into Jacob's cabin? And why ask Locke not to tell anyone that he saw Claire in the cabin? Why did Ghost Horace direct Locke to the cabin and tell him Jacob was waiting there when it was really the smoke monster? Why do the Oceanic Six name Charlie, Boone, and Libby as the other three survivors? I mean, what's the logic in that? Why does Miles decide to stay on the island? What is the deal with the frozen wheel? I mean, it combines light and water? That's not really an answer. Why does Ben insist that the Oceanic Six, as well as Locke, have to return to the island? Why don't the rules of time travel apply to Desmond? Who were the men who tried to capture Saeed and Hurley but got thrown into a dishwasher full of knives in one of the sweetest Lost fight scenes of all time? Ben asked his butcher friend who was watching Locke's body if Gabriel and Jeffrey hadn't checked in yet. Who are any of these people? What was Ben hiding when he took something out of the vent and put it in his bag? When the gang was like unstuck in time, who was that shooting at them from the outrigger? Who sent Son a gun and pictures of Jack and Ben? Who attacked Saeed at the hospital, and why did he have Kate's address? Why was the smoke monster at the temple? When did the temple become like an anti-smoke monster fortress? How did the producers of the hit TV show Expose deal with the death of their two lead actors? How did Eloise come to run the land? How does a pendulum predict the island's movements? I mean, who figured that out? Why do those returning to the island need to recreate the circumstances of their first arrival? How did Jack, Hurley, and Kate get from that Ajira flight to the 70s, and why didn't Son? How did Richard bypass the sonar fence? How did Ethan go from the Dharma Initiative to a member of the others? What's with all the hieroglyphics underneath the temple? Why did Widmore tell Ben to kill Rousseau and her baby, and why did he then let Ben keep the baby anyway? Why did Daniel leave the island in the 70s, and why does he tell Jack he doesn't belong there? Why does Richard think he saw everyone in the 1977 Dharma picture die? Who broke the circle of ash around Jacob's cabin? Why can Jacob leave the island, but the smoke monster can't? Jacob uses his last breath to say, "They're coming." But who are they? What's the deal with the pool that brings people back to life? And why did it bring Saeed back with an English accent? What is the infection? How did Claire get infected? How did Saeed get infected? And why did he need to voluntarily take a poison pill, especially when he could become uninfected with a simple argument for love? Why was the smoke monster / Locke / whoever it is confused that Sawyer could see young Jacob? What's the magic lighthouse about? How was Dogan simply being alive, keeping the smoke monster out of the lighthouse? What happened to the flight attendant Cindy and the kids? Why didn't Son tell Jin to go just so their daughter wouldn't be an orphan? Where did Jacob and the smoke monster's mother come from? Where did Jacob and the smoke monster's other mother come from? Who finished the magic wheel that combines, quote, light and water? And when did it become frozen? What is the nature of the light? And magic wine? I mean, seriously, magic wine? Why does that Tina Fey lady want the electromagnetic map of the island? How did Widmore's electromagnetic thingy send Desmond to the afterlife and back? Wasn't Saeed's soulmate Nadia? Why weren't Michael, Walt, Lapidus, Echo, or any of the other characters at the church? You guys want to get into V?